All right, go ahead now. What's your name?
My name is Amy. I just go by Amy O. And I've done academy videos for about 4 years. And through that, my first year was definitely the learning experience of getting my butt whooped, but enjoyably. And my second year was a very good give and take between getting like winning and losing. And in between that, just I guess after that, I've either, if I have a good opponent who's skilled, I have a good match, and I really enjoy the competitiveness and the thought behind it, and like the skill from my opponent. But if I wrestle someone who doesn't know really too much what they're doing, I'm risking a lot of injury because they don't understand the body or how it might bend or where it won't bend, or they get nervous and might flail a little bit and bounce around, and more injuries that way. But also, if I pin someone that doesn't know what they're doing, or if they don't have much muscle strength, then I get bored. I'll get completely bored. Like, I'll try to twist somebody around and play around with them and whisper in their ear to move certain ways, and that way I might even set them up for another move and just make the match more interesting. But definitely, if I lose, I'm going to enjoy it. If I win, oh well, it's cool. But either way, I'm just going to have a really good match, and who would not enjoy wrestling hot chicks? Come on. Just straightforward. Raise your hand. Like, it is definitely, if you can get paid to wrestle hot women, you do it.
So you're into other women like that? Like you find it as a turn on to wrestle other beautiful women?
I used to not be so attracted to women, but when you get teamed up or when you wrestle some chick who is just completely physically fit, beautiful energy, good spirit, great transfer of energy throughout your match. I mean, they're not devious, they're not out to hurt you. Anyone I've really wrestled, just good energy. They're concerned for you. They want to make sure you're having a good time. They want to make sure they didn't hurt you. And likewise, the energy is back and forth and very mutual throughout the entire match. You're both whispering, "Are you okay?" Or or like, "Let me know if this hurts too much," and then you apply it more if it's not hurting them, But it's the name of the game. The girls are ready to play rough, and it's like playing King of the Mountain. But then there's so much thought behind it too. Like, you're twisted up in some gnarly position, and you got to figure out how to get out of it and how to get the other person into it. And so it's like this little process of cat and mouse continuously, and it's great. And I guess when you got some chick underneath or around or like wrapped around you, and she's flush and frazzled, and God, it's a turn on. You can't deny it. So, hey.
Now what was the wildest experience that you've encountered in a match that you've been involved in?
The wildest experience. Well, I haven't had that many really super duper wild experiences. I have witnessed someone's teeth falling out, but that wasn't my match. Someone actually had their false teeth through a figure four. Their lip kind of popped up, and we're like, that looks weird. And all of a sudden, she had these little dentures that popped out in the middle of a match. We're like, whoa, we weren't quite expecting that. But let's see. If I had to think of the wildest experience, I guess training this new girl was really awesome. Just a mutual friend of mine through just hanging out in nightclubs or wherever. She does a lot of video editing, and we were talking about wrestling. She wanted to give it a try, and she's into women as well. And I figured, you're gonna like this. It'll be fun. She asked me about stripping, and I was like, you don't want to do that. You want to wrestle. So we gave her a whirl at that, and while I'm wrestling her, like the way her hair was flipped around, the way her face was just red and flushed, and she was like glistening a little bit with sweat, I was just like, wow, don't look at her. Whatever you do, don't look at her, because she was just so sexy, and you can't focus on wrestling when you're looking at this hot, like absolutely radiant woman, and you're just like, whoa, just totally blown away by her. And I'd have to say, yeah, that's a really recent and really racy experience for me. I was just, wow. Like, I'd never thought about it. There was another woman I wrestled, this gorgeous Asian girl who had these little, like, green eyes and just blew me away. That was another one, too, where I just couldn't look at her. If I looked at her, I'd get that, oh, and take it easy and, like, not be so aggressive and just want to cuddle up more. And no, I had to try to stay focused and wrestle because she really wanted to wrestle, and she was no joke either. She was definitely tearing me up, and it was a great, like competitive match. But gosh, was she hot too? It's just really tough to stay focused. That's part of the challenge.
What do you like the most about wrestling?
The thing I love most about it, oh man, just it's a thinking game. You are constantly thinking. You're like trying to figure out where you're at, trying to save your energy, and there's certain positions that you can stack yourself and be able to relax while your opponent's kind of like trying to figure out how to get out of a position or something, and you're constantly trying to work things out in your head as far as like if someone has you in a certain hold, you could be so disorientated, like not knowing where your arm is, how it's wrapped around you, and how they have it locked. Because depending on how they have you locked, you might be able to grab their arm a certain way and unlock it. But if you don't know where you're at and they're at, you're stuck. You're gonna be sitting there for a little bit. So you gotta figure it out, and then at that point you might even want to just take some chances. So there's the thinking, there's taking chances. Sorry guys, can't turn up a hot chick.
Alright, let's see. Think of any questions you want to ask her?
I think we're good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You should hang your tongue out one more time. You want to do that?
Do that a little bit longer. All the way out. There you go.